Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Well, the reviews are in. Well done. You should be very proud of your efforts for the production this year. Great job. So now comes the time where you need to let me know that you have understood the process, the whole process of putting on the play. We do that through a written response or another sort of response if you prefer, but we need to remember some certain things that we need to focus on when responding. So, thinking back over the whole process, we need to analyse and evaluate the play and the process, your role in it as well. So, often a mistake people make is they don't analyse, but instead they recount. So, let's look at these two definitions and you can see the difference. Examine something methodically and in detail, typically in order to explain and interpret it. Or tell someone about something, give an account of an event or experience. So, it's quite easy to tell there that the top one is to analyse. Okay, so you don't just want to tell me about it. I was there. I know it was happening. You want to think about it specifically. Think about things that we did and why did we do that? To explain it, interpret it. So tell me why we did things. Why did I tell you to speak louder? Why did I tell you to stand there? Why did I tell you to wait for this moment to bring this on? Now evaluate. So these are definitions from SACE. So when you evaluate, you need to reflect on and appraise your own dramatic work. So appraise your role in your production. Reflect on the concepts and ideas in the creation of it. So what I told you to do, all of the ideas, all of the concepts that we had, the idea of bringing this to year sevens to sort of scare them, but also amuse them in a non-scary way. And then to evaluate a range of approaches. So how did we approach this? Did we approach this from a Brechtian style, from a naturalistic style? And we'll talk about that in class. So what does it look like? Well, it's a 500 to 750 word written response, or if writing isn't your thing and you think you could answer the questions or explain this without writing it, that's perfectly acceptable. So a 3 to 4 minute presentation could be multimodal, video like this, oral presentation, etc. So throughout this in your writing, you've got to remember you were a part of this. You were a valued member of the cast, and so your opinions are valid. So even if they're different to other people, or if there's something that you picked up on that I didn't, that other people didn't, that's fine. It's one of the beautiful things about art. People get different stuff out of it. So let's take a step back. You're going to be analysing and evaluating some theatre. So what is theatre? Well, we've got the physical elements of theatre. So we've got our stage, our set, the physical lights, the sound equipment, the venue, that stuff. But then the less tangible is the artistic stuff, the acting, the direction, the writing, the set design, the lighting and sound design, music composition, all those things, they're less tangible, and they're the things that will be a bit harder to analyse. So, even just with acting, what style of acting did we use? So we've talked about some of these in class, but the way I would probably describe it was very much a comedic, naturalistic. So everything was heightened because we wanted the audience to really obviously see what was happening. So it was a quick play. So we wanted people to obviously be able to see what was happening in our reactions. So it was all about just that one sort of stereotypical reaction to things. So it was like that. Technical skill of the actors. So talk about your characterization. Did you have to think, now how does a teacher talk? How does a teacher stand? What sort of character am I for the student? Am I bored? Am I excited to be here? What is it? So talk about the script analysis. We didn't do a whole lot of that, but whether you understood it. The physicality I told you to use, being over the top, being big, stop moving your feet. Vocal technique, big one on that you could talk a lot about. What did we do to improve your vocal technique, etc.? Now, this is important. So the audience, we had a particular audience in mind. So how did you suit your role for them? So if this was for someone else, a different audience, you might have approached it differently. How did you specifically approach this for the primary school audience? The direction, you might talk about how I directed this or how we staged it. So we decided no blackouts. We wanted to be really quick flowing. We had the teacher being kidnapped. Why was that? Why did we have it with people at the start standing there to sort of make believe that there was going to be another play? What effect did that have? How I wanted the pace to be continually moving. All right, how did that work? The staging. So where everything was placed, how did that work? Why did we do it like that? Remember, analysing. Why did we do it like that? And did it work? That's evaluating. The technical side of things. So we've got the props. We've got the costumes. Why did we have the ones we did? The design elements, the lighting. Why was it like that? So this is now your response. So because I'm working towards year 12 with you, we probably want to follow some certain parameters. So what you want to talk about. Now you can talk about other things or you can integrate these into different paragraphs. But what you want to talk about is the play. So remember, the play is not the production. The play is the physical copy of the script. So who wrote it? What did the process look like in the writing of it? What was our original intention of the script? What was the original intention of the script? And some themes and ideas from the original. Okay, so that's just about the script. So our interpretation of that, our production. What was our adaptation? Sort of what did we want to do with the physical copy of the script? What were the differences in the adaptations, or the differences or additions that we put from the start? What was the intent, the class vision? What did the director want to achieve through this? And themes. So what were some themes in there? Now this isn't obviously death, destruction, humanity, but there's of course some themes we wanted to get through. So how did we achieve these things? Well, we did it through offstage. So we talk a bit about the offstage stuff. On stage, talk about the onstage stuff. The acting style. Okay, be a bit generic here. Talk about the acting style. Talk about the times I talked to you about your voices, your movements. Was there a front of house? There wasn't really front of house, or any other offstage areas that we looked at. Then you want to talk about your role in the production, the practical stuff. So for actors, this means what did your job entail? What does the actor do? What did you need to do? What happened in the lead up to it? How did you understand the script? How did you learn your lines? Things like that. For offstage, it's pretty much the same. You're talking about what did your job entail? What work needed to happen? How did you go about understanding your role with the script? Then you're talking about analysis of your role in the production. So this is where you talk about your character, if you're an actor. What was your style that you had to have? What was all that analysis I gave you? How did you approach it? How did you change your character over time? Did you start like this and it changed to this? How did you get into character? Physical description of your character, the costume. Don't just tell me though what it was. Tell me why it was like that. Offstage. So conceptually, what was your role? So for things like lighting, why did we have it like that? What was your role? What was the lighting's role in achieving the director's intent? An evaluation of your role. So, actors, how did you go? Talk about the process. So you can talk about how you started odd. Didn't do so well in the first few weeks. I kept talking too quietly, forgetting my lines, etc. Discuss the positives and negatives, some feedback. So what was the audience response to the production that we did? Okay, talk about how you felt about the actual physical production, performance that we did. And offstage, how did the performances go? How did all the things work together? Coping with pressure, the audience response, all those things. And you might want to talk about some final things, skills learnt, regrets, any of those sorts of things that you haven't mentioned already. So remember, this isn't just about you. It's about the whole process, understanding you understood the play and everyone's role in it. Okay? So you'll have a couple of weeks to do that. Ask me for any help. Goodbye.